Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Your Music Live. Let's do it.
Your music, your music, your music live. Your music, your music, your music live.
Yells, it is that time of the week once again. Time for Your Music Live right here on Studio Live. Today, if it's your first time here, my name is Pete, and we do this every week. 2 hours of some of the best live music. Well, it's not live music, but we play it live. The best independent music in the world, and it's all thanks to our wonderful sponsors, DistroKid. If you're an independent creator and you're getting your music out there and you want to distribute it to your Spotifys, your Apple Musics, your Deezers, your Amazons, DistroKid are pretty much the way to go. And for less than $20 per year, you can release an unlimited amount of music. And even better than that, use the link up there and down in the description. You save yourself 7% off on any DistroKid plan for your first year, and that's a pretty good deal. Let's kick into the show here, shall we? Our first tune here is from an artist called Sticks for Guns, who I've known about for a long time, but it's actually their Your Music Live debut here today. This is a tune of theirs called Burst Your Bubble. Sticks for Guns on Your Music Live. There you go, Sticks for Guns. If you weren't awake beforehand, you are now. And it's so weird because there's so many artists that I know of, like Richard, Sticks for Guns, who I know from other groups, I know from other places. And I saw him post a video during the week and I'm like, why have you never submitted to Your Music Live? We need to play Sticks for Guns on YML. And now we have rectified that. So thank you for your contribution, and thank you to everyone who's here live. If you're watching live, say g'day, give us a wave and let us know how you're doing on this wonderful Saturday morning or Friday evening or afternoon, depending where you are in the world. What did Richard say about that? Use various synth apps to create this electronic tune, then all wrapped up using Final Touch for the end mix, which is something that many of us dig. So great job there, and thank you for sharing. Speaking of sharing, someone we have featured here on the show a few times before from across the ditch, it's Mr. Glenn Clark over in New Zealand. He's got a brand new tune this week, and Glenn only has a few words to say about this. He says, Rattlesnake, a song where I got completely stuck and didn't know which direction to take it, so I tried something a bit different. And this is the end result. And I think you'll agree when you take a look at this one, the end result is pretty darn epic. This is Mr. Glenn Clark with Rattlesnake on Your Music Live.
grew up on the wrong side of a dangerous town, where the sun melts the tarmac and everything is dust. They were lovers for longer than they could remember. They always wished for something more, a new life, fame, notoriety. See, they'd always been in trouble with the law. Those small town kids doing small town crimes. Until the summer they stole a car and she took her daddy's 6-gun. And they just drove and they didn't look back.
We're gonna make this easy. Just raise your hands up in the air. We're gonna bring this party down. Raise your hands, raise your hands.
From there it started to go wrong, robbing stores and gas stations. They were making a name for themselves, but in all the wrong
Glenn
places.
Clark with Rattlesnake there. Yeah, Russ, I agree. Fun Loving Criminals is the band I was trying to think of. I was getting ready for the show last night before bed, listening to that going, who is that? Who does that sound like? What vibe is that? And yeah, it's the Listen Up punk. It's the Fun Loving Criminal. Very, very cool stuff. And Glenn never leaves you hanging in terms of the video production as well. He loves making some art, and that's one of the things I love about Glenn. He's not only a great musician, great singer, great guitar player, but also a great artist, which means that when he puts things together, they come together like that. He was in a play over in New Zealand where live performances are happening, unlike here in Australia right now, which looked super cool. Do follow Glenn on all of his socials on the Facebooks and other places, because you will not be disappointed. We're going to keep it here in the general, whoop, I pressed the wrong button. We're going to keep it here generally over here in the Australasian world, because we're going to play an Australian artist now. We've jumped from New Zealand. We're going to jump over to Australia. And this is our man Darren Anderson, who has just released an EP. It is epic. This is a song called Get It On, all written and recorded by himself in GarageBand on iPad, mastered in Final Touch, and from his new EP called Force of Habit. It is Mr. Darren Anderson and a tune of his called Get It On. So let's get our rock on here on Your Music Live. Darren Anderson from, not surprisingly, up in Queensland. which you can gather by the 4X t-shirt playing the drums there. Very good stuff. Nice, amazing energy there, and yeah, you were born to do this and loving the 4X t-shirt. 4X is it's a beer. It just qualifies for a beer. Sorry, Darren. It just qualifies for a beer by definition, but yeah, it's an acquired taste. But a rockin' tune nonetheless, and really cool to play. That again, we've had a couple of debutantes there in the first three. Two of those Sticks for Guns, Darren Anderson, we've never played before here on the show. So we got fresh music, fresh meat coming your way. Speaking of fresh meat and fresh music, the next one here is over on Slaps. We're going to go and slap it onto slaps.com. If you're not familiar with slaps.com, I did get some reports from some folks having issues signing up and getting Slaps to work during the week. So hopefully you got on top of those, because apparently some folks were logging into Slaps and they weren't getting the ability to actually play anything, which is not cool. So hopefully it all works out for you. But slaps.com, if you're not familiar, is DistroKid's online music sharing platform. If you're not quite ready to take the plunge and release your stuff out to Spotify and Apple Music and all the other places, you can use slaps.com. And if you want to submit a track, by the way, to Your Music Live, slaps.com is a pretty cool place to do, but we do accept SoundCloud or YouTube links as well, as you've seen in the first couple. So let's jump in and hear from this one. This is from Florentic, who says, home is about the outer and inner world connecting and creating harmony. It's a happy, uplifting, mid-tempo pop tune with a singer-songwriter kind of vibe. Everything is made in the box Logic Pro X with the help of samples and software instruments and mixing plugins, except for my vocals, and that was recorded with a Rode NT2000 and an RME Babyface Pro FS audio interface. Thanks for the live shows, and this is from Florentic, and we're going to give this one a spin right here, right now. This is Florentic with a tune called Home here on Your Music Live.
When a raindrop touch your hand, or from the sunny sky, it opens up your inner wish, and then it's pouring into the ground. So it starts to grow up from the soil into our land. Still it leads all back to this. You know, every heart got a place to exist. Home. It all come back to life here in a space you believe, in a place you can feel like a fire burns out slowly up into smoky forms. I have no clouds and it's glowing over us now, surrounds our minds. It's in the air, it's dust through the wind that blows on the roads we take. Still it leads all back to this.
Florentic with Home here on Your Music Live. How nice is that? Yeah, we've rocked out. We've had something a bit sort of dark and creepy. We've had some mellow, poppy vibes with some nice keys in there. And yeah, how good were you had the melody there, but you had those undertones, those counter melodies with the keys. It just worked a treat. And very glad to have you on board here. And thank you for sharing. Yeah, just really nicely arranged, really nicely produced. And yeah, once again, because it's here on slaps.com, really easy for me to hit some fire on this one and tell Florentic that I dig it. I can save it there so I can come back for later, and it's so easy to share here too. You just hit the share button, you copy the link, and that's what you put in the form. That's what you pop in here at Studio Live Today on this one, studiolivetoday.com/YML. If you want to be like Florentic and you've got a tune that you want to share here on the show, then you can go ahead and do that by going to the link at studiolivetoday.com/YML. You won't be on today. You'll be on a future show because we got a full agenda, a full schedule. so to speak, of music to play here today on the show, including this one. This is a tune from the Old Goat Wildfire Band. Now, is there a better name for a band going around than the Old Goat Wildfire Band? Maybe, maybe not, but we're going to play this tune. They say this is a cover of the Freeze song Wishing Well. After YML, everyone should go play the original recording. There you go. That's what you've got to do. When you play a cover song, you're playing a cover, you're going to say, yep, go listen to the original, because that's what cover songs are all about. They're to let you know about a song that perhaps you didn't know about before. So we're going to play this one here from the Old Goat Wildfire Band, cover of the Freeze songs Wishing Well, and we're going to play it live here on Your Music Live.
Take off your hat, kick off your shoes. I know you ain't going anywhere. Run round the town singing your blues. I know you ain't going anywhere. You've always been a good friend of mine, but you're always saying farewell. And the only time that you're satisfied is when your feet in the wishing well. Throw down your gun, you might shoot yourself. Or is that what you're trying to do? Put up the fight you believe to be right, and someday the sun will shine through. You've always got something to hide, something you just can't tell. And the only time that you're satisfied is with your feet in the wishing well. Oh, yeah. But I know what you're wishing for. Love and peace for one.
There you go, the Old Goat Wildfire Band here on Your Music Live with a cover of that tune there. Quite a jam and quite nicely done. Do like the visual effects there too. It gives you something to look at. It's always cool when you've got something interesting to look at with your release. And we're going to talk about that with our friends DistroKid, because they've got some things that you can use, some things and some stuff that can actually help you promote your song. And I'm gonna try one of them out here live on the show. What could possibly go wrong when you try to do something live on a show like this? Who knows? We're about to find out. Let's continue on here. We've got a heap more music to get through today. A big thank you to our sponsors, DistroKid. And if you're wondering, why does Pete only play a couple of minutes of each song? Why only 1 or 2 minutes? That is because this is a discovery show. If you're watching here live or if you're watching on the replay, the idea of this show is that you get a bit of a taste and you get an idea and you're like, hey, I can go back and check all those out. And I make it easy for you to do that, because down in the description, I link every single tune that we're playing here in order, so you can go back and check them all out. So you're like, what was the name of that band with the goat catching on fire? Oh yeah, that was the Old Goat Wildfire Band. And you can go and find their tune, follow their stuff, and see what's going on with them on the internet. So let's move on to our next tune. This is from Canro. They say, thank you for reviewing my other song. So this is their second song here. A couple of months ago, I recently released an album on my birthday. I'm 14 now, and I wanted to show you some of the new stuff I've made. I'm proud of the drop I've made in this one. Now, this will either make you feel really good or really bad that a 14-year-old is producing music like this, but either way, sit back, enjoy. This is Canro with Moon and Back here on Your Music Live.
暗闇から映される天の川に光ってゆく From constellations to the nations Ready, set, I go 恋のバトルが始まるの無人じゃないけど From another star 細かい line Who's made who we are From constellations to the nations Ready, set, I go 恋のバトルが始まるの気持ちをひらめくだから一日 のままで
Right? So what were you up to when you were 14? Was it producing music like that? Wow, yeah, some really neat concepts. Exactly. Really nicely done. Well done. A little bit of J-pop for the win. Great stuff there from our friend Canto. Thank you for Canro. I apologize. Thank you for contributing. And as you will have heard, we don't really have a style here. Some may say I have no style at all. But we don't really have a genre here. So if you're wondering, hey, is my music going to be cool for Your Music Live? The answer is probably yes. The only thing we don't like is any specific hate or violence or hate speech. And if you've got too many profanities in there, because the occasionally well-placed F-bomb is needed sometimes, right? But yeah, if it's just a whole bunch of them, if you're using them because you don't have a very large vocabulary, then we're probably going to give it a skip. So yeah, but yeah, most of the songs we're going to play. So that's the cool thing about this show. I hope that you enjoy is that the variety that you get here is cool. Speaking of variety, I'm bad at segues, but we're going to jump over now to a SoundCloud track, which means we could get Lotto Cat. I was actually doing testing last night and I got an ad for Foxtel, which is our pay TV, cable TV service here. So it looks like Lotto Cat have stopped paying their SoundCloud bills, and Foxtel have jumped in on there. So if we get the Australian Foxtel ad, I'll make sure we give you a little sneak peek of that one, because I do love the advertising on SoundCloud, which you don't get on slaps.com, just quietly, our friends at DistroKids service. So we'll see. This one is from Gabriel Patrick, and it's called Till I'm Left With Scars. He says, made this in GarageBand, found vocals on a track library, octave down, made some bass designed to suit EQ each stem, exported into Ozone 9 track, has a feel of an 80s Depeche Mode style. Lots going on here. Why don't we take a spin? Gabriel Patrick with Till I'm Left With Scars on Your Music Live.
Don't feel we are bound for the unreal. Hush, don't cry. Don't cry. It's time I'll come by with nothing to hide. I'll shoot for your heart till I'm left with scars. 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 Wait, don't end. Keep tracing back your steps. Wait, don't fly. This is more than a goodbye. It's time I'll come by with nothing to hide. I'll shoot for your heart till I'm left with scars. Scars. Till I'm left with scars. Till I'm left with scars. Till I'm left with scars.
Very nicely done there, yeah. That was Till I'm Left With Scars, Gabriel Patrick, here on Your Music Live. Yeah, the bass, everyone seemed to be digging on that bass. The doom, doo, 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 doo. Very cool indeed. Yeah, very, very punchy bass pushing through the mix there. Like the use of the vocal samples, like the arrangement of the track, just worked really nicely, didn't it? Absolutely. Thank you, Gabrielle, for sharing. Sharing is caring. And remember, Sharon is Karen. We might have a bit of Sharon is Karen news. Maybe I'll give you a sneak peek at the Sharon is Karen t-shirt design. Would that be cool? Would you be jiving on that? We'll take a look at that in a little while here. There you go. We call that a tease in the biz. Yes, we're in the biz here. Let's take a look at our next tune here. And what's this one? Have I got the right one here? I don't. It's let's try this one. We're going to continue to jump back to slaps because we'll look at this track here on slaps from our friends at DistroKid, and then we'll talk a little bit about DistroKid because they are the sponsors of this show. They help keep the lights on here at Studio Live Today Studios, and we do thank them for their support. And there's some cool features in there that I haven't played with, but I'm about to give a bit of a crack. So. We'll take a look at those in about 2 minutes. But first, we want to take a look at this one. This is from Trunkus, and the name of the track is Highway. So this is Trunkus with Highway. They say it's about people who deal with depression, abusive relationships, dementia, and finding love into one song. It's a lot of concepts to put into one song, but we're going to take a listen to it here now. Trunkus with Highway on Your Music Live.
It's cold and dark, we hear the owls, we hear the crickets, the sky is pitch black, we see the moon, we see the stars, some are shooting, all are glowing. I see a beautiful woman. As I ghost her, I ask her what's wrong. She says she wants to end it all. Cause her boyfriend cheated, she got beaten by him. I tell her that I'll stay until she feels better. She looks up at me, kisses me on the lips. I hug her back and hold her close. She asks me if I'm single, I tell her yes. She smiles at me. Even though we just met, we're still kissing on the highway. We're having it our way, life's doing pretty good. Even though we just met, we're still kissing on the highway. We're having it our way, life's doing pretty good.
There's some, intense is the right word, Payan, to get. And welcome to the channel, by the way. I do see you over on Jade's channel from time to time. Good to have you here on Your Music Live, my friend. Hello, Desolate Morning as well. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, the dynamics there. You can see even the waveform there that, yeah, you got the mellow part and then it kicks in a big bad way there, which is very cool. Once again, because we're here on Slaps, we can throw some fire. We've saved it here. We can follow this artist. So I'll be checking out Trunkus. Keep creating, my friend. There is you are oozing with raw talent there for sure. Got a good modern sound there. Hey, Ed Zed in the house. I hope you are doing well. Hello to there's a lot of folks that have maybe here in Australia it's because half of our country is locked down right now, but there's a lot of folks that we haven't seen for a while. So welcome back. If you're back to the channel, welcome to our regular usual suspects. And if you're brand new and you've never seen this mug and this show before, hello. Hope you're doing well. This show is indeed brought to you by our friends at DistroKid. We're going to jump over to DistroKid now and do a little bit of something live here. Now, if you've not released your music with DistroKid before, this is what it looks like. This is all the music that I've released here. I've got Time McFlies from Righty Doki. That's my latest song there from my artist, Righty Doki. And then I've got a bunch of Pete Johns stuff that I've released, my albums, my EPs, and my singles. And the beauty part of DistroKid is you can release an unlimited amount. And I've taken advantage of that fact. I've been a DistroKid user for nearly 5 years, and I've lost count, something in the vicinity of 20 singles, 3 EPs, and an album. So it is just a great platform for doing that. And under the goodies tab up here, we got a whole bunch of great goodies, including the ability to promote yourself. And there's a couple of things in here that we're going to play around with. We've got these mini videos that you can do, and then there's the Visi Video Generator. Now, I would start out with the mini videos because these are free. I've showed them before. What you can do is come in here and create a free mini video to post on your social media. So I'm actually going to use this one because the blood there is perfect for a particular one that I'm thinking about here, which is my song called Murdering Time. So I'm going to click on that one. There's the example artwork. It says my video will have my own artwork. So we're going to click on here. We're going to scroll down to M and we're going to grab Murdering Time. And we're going to start it from, actually we'll try, I don't actually know. I should have done this in advance and worked out where to start it. Let's just start it at 30 seconds. It'd be good if I could remember and find out where the actual chorus kicks in, but you can do a bit of a better job with your own. There's the album artwork. We're going to click generate a mini video, and it's going to go away and do that here. Now, because I know that you don't have a lot of time here, and I respect your time, here's one I prepared earlier, because I did exactly this with exactly this track last time. So we'll click on view here, check this one out here. Let's turn up the volume.
I tell myself to.
How cool is that? That one I did from the very start. So you get a 15-second video, just perfect for your Instagrams, for your Facebooks, your Twitters, anywhere that you want to share it on social media. It's super darn cool. Send it to your nana, send it to Auntie Beryl. They'll love it. The big version of that one, so if you come in here to promote yourself, there's also this one, the Visi Video Generator. So if you want an entire visualization, you can use this one. So Visi from DistroKid, we will show this, maybe we'll show this later in the show today. We want to get on with some more music. But we can actually do the same sort of thing here with Visi. It's the same engine here, but you get the entire track. It does cost you a couple of bucks. We'll have a look at that one either later today or perhaps in the next show. And we do thank DistroKid for sponsoring Your Music Live, because they help bring this show to you on the weekly, and we thank them for that. Let's move on, shall we, to our next tune. I did have it lined up here. There it is. So let's jump in. Our man Kev Hart of Metal Shack fame. You'll know him from some pretty epic metal tunes that he's submitted before. But the last song was a bit more of a low-key one, and this one is the same. Kev says, "Hi Pete, sometimes you wake up and you don't have metal riffs swirling around in your head. This was one of those days. A contemplative song about things that get left behind." So let's jump in and take a look and a listen at this one. It's our man Kev Hart with Broken Bones here on Your Music Live.
Seasons come but never change, and hope has left this place again. The ghosts here haunt our memories, blame. Winter's left but the scars remain, and all forgotten, the town long faded, the bright lights burns away. Sadness of the morning sun shines her light on the great unknown, but it's cold and warm like the mountain stone, an empty path left all alone, and all forgotten, the town long faded, the bright lights burn. Memories have taken me, your words left to decay. I cannot leave these broken bones that shed each minute, each truth, each day. Memories have taken me, and your words led to decay. I cannot leave these broken bones. Cannot leave these broken bones. Cannot leave these broken bones.
Yeah, there he is, Kev Hart. Not a distortion pedal in sight, but amazing, amazing stuff. I think, is it just me, or are some of the best ballads written by metalheads? Anyone with me? Don't you reckon that some of the band, like, I mean, I'm not a huge Metallica fan, but when Metallica play Nothing Else Matters, there's something about that low metal voice that just it just crushes a ballad. So brilliant stuff there. Yeah, great chorus, really well put together song. And yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Kev. Sharing is caring. Sharon is Karen. Thomas Christ, you wearing the Sharon is Karen shirt again today. You'll have a new one to buy. You'll have to re-buy the official Your Music Live Sharon is Karen t-shirt. If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, for whatever reason, most weeks on the show here I say, hey, if you like the show, share it with other people. Share it with Arnie Beryl, share it with Uncle Don. They would like to hear some of these tracks because there's some good music on Your Music Live because it's your music. And we say sharing is caring and Sharon is Karen, and I don't know why. I think because I've got a bit of a screw loose. Let's continue on here, and why don't we listen to another debut artist, someone that we've never had here on Your Music Live before. And it's about time we did. And that is our friend, I did mention them earlier, Payin to Get. And this is Payin to Get Says, made completely on iOS, a track about anger and how to deal with it. Some anger management advice here from Payin to Get, perhaps. We'll jump in and listen to that. But first, we have to say thank you to Patrick Chandler for bringing all the awesome talent. Yeah, well, thank you to you. Again, if it's not you, if you're not here providing music, this show doesn't exist. 2 hours of just my music. Well, I do an hour of my music. No, I don't really. 2 hours of just my music would be dull. 2 hours of anyone's music is a bit dull, but 2 hours of 50 different artists is pretty cool. So thank you, Patrick. Without you, without folks like Patrick Chandler around here, we wouldn't be able to keep the lights on, and we look a little bit weird and washed out, don't we? All you can see is a bit of green screen in the background there. But thanks to folks like Patrick, we can keep the lights on here at Studio Live, today's studios. There you go. So let's jump in here now. Sorry, that was a bit of a distraction there, but thank you. If someone takes the effort to not only comment, but donate to the channel and keep the lights on here, we want to say thank you. But speaking of thank you, let's take a listen to this one. Payin to Get with Comprehension here. Debut on Your Music Live.
Hey, shut up. You don't pass out. Listen.
Hey, shut up, dumbass. Listen.
Possibly, eventually, I may be right. And if you don't believe I'm right, you're wrong. I must be right. Some friends say so. I can't be wrong, you fool.
Shut up, dumbass. And listen.
Possibly. Eventually, I may be right. Eventually, I might be right.
It's the sort of track that you just don't want to turn down because you want to find out where it goes. And I think, was it you statistic that said right at the start, where is this going? What's happening right now? Let me off this ride. Kind of reminds me of that Willy Wonka scene where, you're just going along in a chocolate factory, chocolate river, eating things off the tree. And then suddenly the dude goes super creepy. It's like, there's no possible way of knowing just exactly where we're going. And he starts screaming at you. Yeah, that's the vibe I get from that one. Just like chilling you to the core, but in a good, fantastic way, right? Payan Torget, or is it Payan Torget? I don't know. Apologies, my pronunciation's bad all the time. But yeah, epic. Great stuff. Please don't be a stranger. Let that not be the last track that you share here on Your Music Live. We've got some great debut tracks here today, don't we? Yeah, right. I don't know. I love the usual suspects that have submitted multiple tracks, but yeah, I'm making room for some first timers here today and loving it, loving life. Someone who has been on the show a few times before, and it is our friend Statistic. I never know where the one goes in Statistic, so I usually get it wrong, but they have got a track here they're sharing. They say, when I'm not making music, I'm playing video games. I do that occasionally. And one game series with some of the greatest music is The Legend of Zelda. Here. This is my tribute to Oceana of Time with Zelda's Lullaby. Let's see if you can pick out all the audio Easter eggs. And P.S. sorry about the noisy guitar. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. Any Zelda fans in the house that want to try and pick out some musical Easter eggs here, or maybe there's other musical Easter eggs that we can find. Let's jump in and take a look, shall we? This is Statistic. Whoop, we've already started it. Thanks, YouTube. Let's go back to the start. This is Statistic with Zelda's Lullaby on Your Music Live. Very cool. Yeah, apologies to those in Europe and the UK. That was probably a little bit too mellow. You don't want to go to sleep right now. Usually when you play a Statistic tune, it just it wakes you up. That one a little bit dreamy, but in a really good way. And yeah, look, guitars are going to be noisy. Whenever you add some distortion or some overdrive, you're going to get a little bit of hiss. But I think it just worked. I think it sounded good. I think it sounded natural. Well, as natural as an electric guitar sounds. But yeah, very, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that one. And appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. And speaking of appreciating people that are awesome, Mr. John Kell. Thank you, my friend. Rock on. I've already done the joke, but we'll do it again just because it's John Kell and he's cool. If it wasn't for folks like John Kell, we wouldn't be able to keep the lights on around here. So thank you to John. Let's look at that double joke. You got two jokes for the price. Well, not for the price of one. Both of you paid for a joke. But thank you to John. If you don't know John Kell, he does the very awesome Song Surfing podcast, which I'm lining up to be a guest on soon, which I'm super looking forward to. And John has just released a brand new EP. I'm not sure if you submitted it. I pulled all of the songs yesterday, John. So I'm not sure if you submitted it yesterday. We may get a chance to play it today if you're cool with that, because you do. Here it is on Bandcamp. So he does have his brand new EP out there. So maybe just let me know here in the chat or shoot me a message on the Facebook Messenger there if you would like to have one of your songs from your new EP played, because it's very, very cool. I saw a bit of a sneak peek of it this morning and it's looking awesome. So thank you to John and thank you to everyone for being here. You all rock. So let's continue on and play our next song. Now this one comes from an artist called Absolute Absurd. which again, great artist names. It says, wrote this song long ago instrumentally and just scribbled random lyrics down when thinking about my boyfriend and threw it into the comment section so I might make use of it later. A year later, I gave it a bit of tweaking and sequenced it into a vocal melody and it came out great. Well, that sounds awesome. Let's jump over here and we'll take a look and a listen at this one. This is Absolute Absurd and a tune called Love Wreck. Let's give this one a spin here on Your Music Live. Very cool indeed. Absolute Absurd there. Yeah, some nice tempo changes, some nice vocals in there. I also agree that I would have loved to hear a little more of the vocals. I think that sounded sweet. Some amazing harmonies in there. Really nice vocal tone. It probably just needed 4 or 5 dB. I'd just love to hear that boosted up in the mix. That's just my 2 cents, and it sounds like some of the other folks here also agree. A little bit more in the vocal, and it's common, especially when you're starting out with music or if you're creating music. We either go one of two ways. You either end up like me and you mix your vocals way too loud, which I've started getting better at, or you want to kind of bury your vocals. If you've got a vocal that you're a little bit hesitant about, sometimes you can unfortunately bury them down a little bit. And yeah, I agree, John. And the vocals, love the vocals, just want to hear more of them. And John, maybe let's feature your EP next week. So go and check out John Kell's EP. And if Thomas or Jade or one of the mods here can grab a link to John's EP, or I'll put it in the description anyway. But let's feature it next week when we can do it properly. So John, if you submit it during the week, we'll give it a spin next week on the show. You might even get the very coveted toilet break slot, which is coming up. That was Absolute Absurd with Love Wreck. Let's move on here. We've got a bunch more music to get through here today, and we, as usual, we are not going to get to all of the music that I want to because we just get too many. Every week we get too many submissions for me to play all of them. So we'll do the best we can. Hey, we'll do the best we can. Let's move on. This is Mind Spark, who say the Lucid Dream features a combination of dark and hopeful, positive lyrics, while the music runs in contrast with an upbeat tempo and a prominent guitar riff. The song makes use of lyrical imagery written in an introspective manner, while still being left open to interpretation by listeners. Apart from the main Mind Spark trio, the track also features UK-based drummer and percussionist Camilla Pacelli. Very cool indeed. We've got a YouTube link. Let's follow the YouTube link over here to, not surprisingly, YouTube. And let's take a listen to this one. So this is Mind Spark with a little ditty called Lucid Dream here on Your Music Live.
Earlier I'm at the window, just to see them.
your mind. Give yourself a chance. Open up your mind. See what you might find. Did you look in the mirror, see a reflection of your past? Did you try to change the picture? Somehow it doesn't last.
Very cool tune there. Mindspark with The Lucid Dream here on Your Music Live. Yeah, really dig that one. Someone said Flaming Lips. Definitely had a Flaming Lips feel. Really nice bass line. Really cool melody, cool tune all around. Good stuff there. Nice vibe. Lots of space in the track. Yeah, we don't talk about that enough, I don't think. That the white space, a bit like design, the white space is as important as what's in between. And sometimes just leaving some space. You don't need 32 tracks or 64 tracks every time. Sometimes you can just have a bit more of a chilled, laid back kind of vibe. Very cool stuff. Thank you. Very lovely. And yeah, thanks for the kind words about the YML community. We had, was it Wolf that was here saying, hey, it's so nice. Everyone's so supportive here. That is the vibe we're going for here. I know that there are some other shows, and look, each to their own. I know that a lot of the time a show like this is all about, oh, is this fire? Is this a fire beat? Nah, that's a crap beat. We're not like that here. Like, everything has something, right? And it's not about, being the American Idol syndrome where let's clap it up for everyone. As you've probably realized, when we hear a song like the last one from Absolute Absurd, we're like, hey, this is great. Here's what's good about it. We'd love the vocals up 5 dB. That's the sort of thing we're going to talk about as well. So it's not just all about like, let's just pat each other on the back. By listening to music and by hearing what other people are doing, it helps you as a creator, and your feedback is part of the audience will help them create their best music as well. And that's what we're all about here on Your Music Live. There you go. You can check out Mindspark's music there at songwhip.com/Mindspark. And we were talking before, I think both Thomas and Jade put links to John's music. John Kell, also known as Oodles. There it is. Oodles EP is right there as well. So how good is Songwhip for sharing songs? I love it. Oh, and look, there's a making of. There you go. There's a making of video, making of The Lucid Dream. So I want to go and check that out now. There you go. I'll go over and jump and check that out after the show as well. So a making of the video is always a lot of fun. Got a few more songs that we can play here before we get to our next section, which is our toilet break. And then we're into a big second hour here on Your Music Live. So don't nobody go nowhere. Your Music Live brought to you by our friends at DistroKid. We do thank them for their support. If you are an independent artist and you want to release your music, $19.99 per year, unlimited songs, EPs and albums, and you can save yourself 7% using the link up there and down in the description. Time to jump over to SoundCloud, which means we've got to try and get a Lotto Cat sighting here, shall we? So we'll jump in here, we'll refresh this track, and let's see. We got some Lotto Cat, or maybe some advert. No ads. That's a shame. So no Lotto Cat, but let's take a listen to this one. This is from Compulsion Loop. Another great name. This song was produced in GarageBand on an iPhone with the use of the Akai MPK Mini. A friend recorded the vocals using the Snowball Ice mic. There you go. Akai MPK, like $150 MIDI keyboard, Snowball Ice mic, $50 USB microphone. You don't need all the gear. You just need to record and get started, which is what Compulsion Loop have done here. Let's take a listen to this one. Let's take a chance on tomorrow.
If I had to walk away, would you follow? Would you walk away with me hand in hand? If I had to tell them no, would you follow? Or would you hold your head up high and make a stand?
was going to ask who the vocalist was, Gary, because it sounds very much like a vocalist that I worked with last year, who is also an amazing vocalist. But yeah, very nicely done. Really nicely produced. Good balance in there. The vocals were mixed in at a nice level. Loved the percussive little stabs in there that just gave it a little bit. Never-ending story, yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I hear you. I'm there with you. Hey, Park UK, Kevin. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Kev over at Park UK, he uses slaps.com from our friends at DistroKid. He's one of the first artists I ever listened to on slaps.com. He may have even introduced me to slaps.com. I don't know. I wasn't aware of it for a while, and then people started submitting songs from this platform called slaps.com. Turned out it was from DistroKid. And I was it was love at first sight. I loved slaps.com, and I still do to this day. So thank you for that one, Gary, for Compulsion Loop. Very cool name, very cool stuff. All right. Let's move on here, shall we? So Colin Stanton has submitted some tracks here. Quite a few, in fact. Small tip, if you've got one song at a time to submit, that'd be good, because if there's more than one from the same artist, I'm just going to play one and the rest kind of go into the not play pile. And it just means that if you send me one every couple of weeks or 2 to 3 weeks, it's more likely that more songs are going to get played. If you send me a whole bunch at once, they kind of get filtered out, because the algorithm I use to download it just says, here's the first song from this artist, and if there's others, it'll say these are duplicates, and I'll remove them. Anyway, Colin says, I had a whole group of friends over at my place decades ago, and my neighbour went into a somnambulistic state and drew for many hours, hundreds of faces. It was also the first time in my life I felt the presence of a spirit or entity. Very powerful. Love it. And this is a song called Drawings on the Wall from Colin Stanton, who looks like they're out of Montreal. Salut to Michael and to Mark and to our other French-Canadian listeners, viewers in the audience. So this is Drawing on the Wall from Colin Stanton here on Your Music Live.
Comes on like a storm in the middle of the night, searching for souls like you, trying to make it through. If it could happen to me, penetrating, shelter that bomb, I'll never leave you alone. Leave you alone. Comes on like a necklace on a cold and rainy night. Feel the hand of a friend. Touch drawing paper on the wall. Whispering shout out at you of the fall. How we gonna deal with it all? Deal with it all. A face within a trace, within a face, within a trace, within a face.
How cool is that? Yeah, a bit of a bluesy vibe going on there. Definitely a cool vibe. Loving the visuals, loving everything about it. So great stuff there from Colin Stanton. Not sure if we played you before either, Colin. Maybe not. If not, welcome. If we have, my memory fails me sometimes. Anyone else have a memory that fails them from time to time? Yeah, that's me. Right here. So thank you for submitting. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. Sharon is Karen. I will show you that t-shirt. I know I keep teasing it, but I'll show you that t-shirt in the second half. Let's grab one more song before the toilet break, shall we? Because this is from a band called Death in Graceland, which again, I love you folks, and I love your creative names for your artist names that you choose. Make sure, again, if you're releasing music with our friends at DistroKid or with anyone, choose yourself a unique name. because there's nothing worse than having a name and then realizing that someone else owns the .com, that there's 3 other artists with that exact name, and it just causes confusion. Keep it simple. Make things easy for yourself. Go with a name that no one else is using. You will regret it if you are the same as someone else, I promise you. So, Des in Graceland says, dance floor disasters in the first track from Death in Graceland's first EP entitled Come On Touch Me, which was released in early 2003. The track is also the first song written by the group, recorded in a group of by a group of University of Cincinnati music engineering misfits in a rented house turned makeshift recording studio, and mastered by the late great Dave Davis. And Ultra Suede Studios in Cincinnati, Ohio. So there you go. Death in Graceland is from a while ago. So I don't know if this has been a reimagining of the track or if it's a new version, but we're going to play it anyway because I had a listen to it. I gave it a spin and I dug it. So let's take a listen to this one. This is Death in Graceland with Dance Floor Disasters here on Your Music Live.
Where's the market sound? Sleep on the booze, don't dress in your lipstick and the top his shoes. We're going out, going downtown, down the stairs without wearing a frown. And all these things I promise you, they're still there and they remain true. We're gonna buy us another round. Do you wanna fuck around?
Yeah, sprinkle a little fire on that one there from Death in Graceland. What a cool tune. Like I say, I was confused as to whether it's new, old, or in between. I don't care. It rocks and it keeps moving. And you can almost feel that it wasn't on a click track in a good way, because when the energy in the chorus lifted, did anyone else feel that it sped up by maybe like 5 or 10 BPM, but just in a good way? Yeah, it's a bit of a smash and schnizzle up kind of tune, isn't it? A little bit of fire, definitely a killer track. So you want to go and check that one out. Yeah. Oh, yes. And the old goat Wi-Fi. But a lot of folks are joining the show and they've had their song played already. So yeah, shout out to everyone who's contributed. If you want to find out, if you refresh the video, I'll give you a minute. All right, now you're back. Refresh the video. It'll actually repopulate the description and you'll see the 20-odd songs that we've already played here. In the second half, don't worry, we got a whole bunch more coming. We got some Mark Bro for you. We've got some Kronk Song. We got some new Hubs. And of course, we got some Russ and even a little bit of a QB Penguin's going to be dropping on by. So you don't want to miss the second half, because the first half was good. The first half was smoking good tunes. The second half may, if possible, be at least as good, if not somewhat better. We'll see how we go. Now, I'm going to do something interesting here because our friend Thomas Christ, he plays a live show straight after. He's one of our moderators here, and he goes live on a Saturday morning for me, on a Friday evening for many of you, playing his own unique brand of industrial rock. And he's got a new album coming out, and he's got a new song. And instead of just sort of it being the last run song here today, I'm going to give him the honour of being this week's Toilet Break. If you're new to the show, the Toilet Break is exactly what it sounds like. This is a 2-hour show. I've drunk a whole cup of coffee, so I've got to go and take myself a break. But I'm not going to leave you here in the lurch. I'm going to leave you with our friend Thomas Christ and his brand new tune called Trials and Errors. It's only been released in the last day or so, and it's an absolute bop, and you're going to dig it. So this is Toilet Break time. This is Mr. Thomas Christ with Trials and Errors here on Your Music Live. I'll be back and see you for half 2 in just a moment. Very cool stuff indeed, Mr. Thomas Christ there, hitting it out of the park. And like I say, we've played Thomas and it's always at the end of the show. I wanted to play him smack bang in the middle for our toilet break here today. So welcome back. And once again, thank you to Thomas for being an awesome moderator here on the channel. I don't know that he's missed a show this year or probably last year. So it's a glamorous, highly paid gig. No, he does it out of the goodness of his heart. So thank you for taking the time to not only create epic music like that one, but to be an integral part of the channel and the Studio Live Today community. And do catch Thomas. Thomas, throw your link because Thomas will be live straight after this show with another live set. So if you haven't caught Thomas live, you need to do yourself a favour and do that. Come on, there's 50 of you here right now. I want to see at least half of you join me over on Thomas's channel straight afterwards. We're going to jump in and listen to some Kronk Song now. Speaking of people that are awesome, that contribute things to the channel, if you've ever been listening to the theme song here on Your Music Live and you've heard a little bit of this one come in.
Your music live.
And you've thought that, hey, that's a catchy tune. Pete's done a good job with the intro music. Well, no, Pete hasn't done a good job with the intro music. Pete's far too lazy to do intro music for his own channel. He makes other people do it. No, he doesn't make other people do it. They choose to. And Mark Kronk Song Lovell created that song. And he also makes some very cool music of his own, such as this tune here. A bit of a disco tune by the looks. So Kronk Song, Mark says, I've been watching with interest your dive into the new GarageBand offerings and even had a little tryout, then deleted them again to free up space on my overcrowded iPad. Here. There are one or two interesting keyboard sound, but loops are not really my thing. This week I've had a short, funky instrumental number done without any loops, old or new. I did, however, hire a GarageBand drummer for the session. Who was it? Benny? Benny on the Skins? I don't know. Levi, there's a lot of cool. Parker, there's some cool GarageBand drummers if you're not a drummer and you need some assistance. And as you can see here, Mark Kronk Song does a 2-minute YML mix. We've got to refresh our SoundCloud, roll the dice for Lotto Cat. Come on. No Lotto Cat. Alas. Let's take a listen to this tune here. This is Kronk Song with Snake on Your Music Live. Ooh, I like the idea of secret vocals. Yeah? I didn't sing along. It was too groovy. I normally sing along to an instrumental that I'm vibing with, but that one was just such a full mix that there was nothing to add to the track. So, yeah, super groovy, super cool, and thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring, and Sharon is Karen. Shall I show you the Sharon is Karen design? For those that are new to the channel, you're going to get super confused by this, most likely. But I'm about to release a new T-shirt by popular demand. People wanted their very own Sharon is Karen. Thomas Christ was so desperate he went out and bought himself a separate one from Amazon. But the official Your Music Live Sharon is Karen t-shirt is being released this week, and you are going to get the first sneak peek at what it's going to look like here. So if you want to buy one, they will be available very soon. I'll make them as cheap as I possibly can while maintaining the quality. But here it is. There's the Sharon is Karen design. I worked on it with my daughter. I thought it was kind of cool. I like the dancing vibe to it. I think that's what we're all doing, a bit of chair dancing here on YML, and it's just a bit of fun to have something to represent. And on the back, you get your big YML Your Music Live, so that you can express your Music Live love out and about in the wild. So that will be available. Might be a few tweaks on that through the week, but that'll be available, ready for next week's show. If you dig on YML and you want to buy a Sharon is Karen shirt, then they'll be available. There you go. Jenny's in. Jenny's going to go with it. Very, very cool stuff. Mark's getting one too. Yep. There you go. Sharon is Karen for the win. Shazza is Kazza, exactly. As we'd say here in Australia, Shazza, maybe we need to do an Australian one where it's two ladies with mullets and it's Shazza is Kazza. No, that's offensive, Jade. How did you say that? Righty, yes, a YML shirt for the win. Speaking of shirts, that's a fantastic segue. I'm usually not good at segues, but that's going to segue us into our next track because we're going to play some Russ. Are there any Russ fans in the house? If you're a Russ fan, you know what to do. Anyone new to the channel, you'll get the gist pretty soon. Russ is an angry young man. No, he's not really. He's actually a lovely, sweet old gent. But don't let that fool you. Let him think that you think that he's an angry man. But Russ did something really nice this week, and I wanted to wear it on today's show, but I couldn't because I wanted to delicately hand wash it so that I didn't disturb any of the beautiful graphics on the Delicate Giants t-shirt. Check this out. How cool is that? Look at that design. Now, that's a design to be proud of. The Delicate Giants on the back there, the Delicate Giants. And if you don't know the Delicate Giants, this is Russ's band. He's just about to release an album of Delicate Giants music on DistroKid. The first song is Out and About, and I've listened to it, and it is a jam, and I'm super duper looking forward to the whole album, and I will be walking around wearing my Delicate Giants t-shirt with pride. Again, once it's dry. It was still a wee bit damp because it's the middle of winter here, and I didn't want to put it in the dryer. I didn't want to damage the t-shirt before its first wear. So there you go. Let's grab this tune, shall we? I've got got to get Sharon and Karen out of the way so we can bring up this tune. Here it is. It is Russ 8889, of course, and this is the tune called One World. I'll play it. I'm going to play the tune and we'll tell you about it afterwards because I've been ranting long enough. So Russ 8889 with One World on Your Music Live. Now, if that doesn't hit you right in the feels, you may need to go to the ER because you may not have a heart. You may just have some random thing beaten in there that's not actually a heart, because that is awesome. Very cool chariot. Yeah, I love the synths, the meow meow, the Chariots of Fire kind of synths, and very, very thought provoking. Very, very nice tune. Very, very cool. Very well put together. There you go. Photos by Stu Mayhew. There you go. Go check out his photos. He does award-winning photography. Sounds like there's some other talent in the Russ universe. In the 88-89 family, there is a lot of other talent going on there. So well done. Great stuff. Yes, some love and some anger going on there. Hey, Hambo, hope you're doing well, my friend. Very, very cool stuff. Thank you, Russ, for sharing. Sharing is caring. And as we know, Sharon is Karen. Speaking of sharing stuff, let's acoustic it up a little bit, shall we? This is our man Dan Ekberg. Now, Dan Ekberg's been around the channel for a long time. We've played a few of his acoustic jams in the past, and let's give one a spin right now here. So Dan says, saw the What is YML video and thought you may be low on material for this week's show. I'm not, but you're cool, so I'm going to give it a spin. I attached a link that should bring you right to my acoustic cover of the song Angel by Theory of a Dead Man. It closed out episode 3 of my acoustic triple shot. The Rockin' Upbeat Express left a comment that he really enjoyed the song a few months ago, so I thought it was worth sharing. Let's give it a little bit of a listen here. This is our man Dan Ekberg with a cover of a tune. What was the tune? Angel. Here on Your Music Live.
Heaven forbid me a believer with the touch of her skin. Go to hell and back with you, so lost in what we found. Worlds apart, we were the same until we hit the ground. Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm weak, maybe I'm blind about what I see. Wanting a soldier, it wasn't me, 'cause I came down to set you free. So fly alone, it's down. I let you go.
Sometimes you just want some simple stuff there, a guitar, a voice, a camera. I love showing stuff like that because it, exactly as Russ says here, I should have locked the door. Isn't that always the way when you're performing, you're like, uh-oh, I didn't lock the door. Someone's coming in. Yeah, it is just cool when you can just have something like that. Like I love the multiple tracks. I love all the synths. I love all the beats. I love all the coolness. But sometimes you just want something that can just sit back, relax, play a tune on a guitar. Yep, all you need. Very cool rendition from our man Dan Ekberg there. Nice stuff, great stuff, everyone. Loving it. Speaking of loving it and people that are cool around the channel, our friend Mark Bro over there in Canada, he has got a new song out here, and Mark has been around. I don't know that you've missed. You've definitely caught the replay if you've missed it live, but Mark has been here live for as many YML episodes as I can remember. And he's got a new song that he's been working on. And he says, a little instrumental I put together to try my new semi-acoustic guitar and the new GarageBand sound packs. I used the Watch the Sound preset, recorded the guitar both direct and mic, and did the video on Visibel. I hope you enjoy. P.S. Mastering isn't great, but hey, just a 3-hour job or so. And sometimes it's cool to just stick something together and see what happens. And by the way, if you are producing music, but Mark is one of my latest patrons, so thank you, Mark, for supporting me here on the Patreon channel. If you want to support me on Patreon as well, you can go to studiolivetoday.com/Patreon. And Jade Starr also has a Patreon, and she does mastering of songs for folks every week for free. Well, for your Patreon, for your cost of entry. So for your what do we work it out? 3.5 cents a day. If you do $1 a month, you can get extra content. You can support Jade. And if you want to support me, 3.5 cents a day. You know, that's not too much to ask, is it? or just be here and be cool and hit the like button. Oh, by the way, yeah, hit the like. If you're having fun, hit like if you're digging it. Let's take a listen to this one. This is Sigma from our friend Mark Bro here on Your Music Live. I don't know about singing along to that one. When you've got a nice lead guitar riff like that, you don't really need to sing along. That's what I find. But shall I give it a crack? Come on, I'll do it for other instrumentals. I was driving down the highway in an 18-wheeler, eating a pretzel. It doesn't work, does it? Yeah, see, that's the problem. It was a genius melody already, so me adding my 2 cents over the top just didn't work at all. It was not cool. Yeah, but very, very cool. Nice, chilled tune. Guitar with a little fuzz. Sounds very nice. Yep, that's the ticket. Not quite. But yeah, exactly. It almost needs to be a truck driving country song. That's the vibe I'm getting there. Oh, look, it finished the song and it started playing this show over there, which would get way too Inception-y. So I had to stop that. That was bizarre. Eating pretzels. Yeah, you got to eat pretzels when you're driving because nothing gets crumbs and salt and crap everywhere in your car like eating a bag of pretzels while you're driving on the road. There you go. Yeah, maybe we do need to do a collab. Songtember's around the corner, right? Maybe that's not a bad idea for Songtember. Is it maybe as well as doing my own song? Because you know what, I like to bite off more than I can chew. Instead of just doing my own song, I can record for some other people's Songtember tunes. That could be kind of fun. Do it here on the channel. All right, let's continue on here because we've got a heap more tunes to play. And again, speaking of people that we've never played before, that I'm surprised at, our man Joni Haikala is someone who has been around the GarageBand users group for a long time. He's been around other Facebook groups, and we've just simply never played a Haikala track here on Your Music Live, which I find just unacceptable. So we're going to fix it. It's broken, but it's fixable. We're going to fix it by playing a Haikala song right here, right now. It's on SoundCloud, so we're going to get to roll the dice and see. We haven't had a single SoundCloud ad here today. Where are you, Lotto Cat? Nope. I think someone said Lotto Cat won the lottery, so he no longer needs to advertise. He's like, I'm not going to be a spokes cat anymore. I'm going to go and spend my money. I'm going to go buy a Lambo and what else do you buy when you're rich? I don't know. I have no desire to be rich, so I wouldn't have a clue. You buy a Lambo. I know you do that. Do you buy a private jet? That's what you get. You get a Lambo and a private jet. Or if you're most people that pretend to be rich, you lease one and just have lots of photos taken for the gram. Right? That's how you roll. So this is a tune from Haikala called Searchlights. He says, was written and recorded in my bedroom one night, acoustic guitar into GarageBand. And this is Haikala with Searchlights here on Your Music Live. Haikala is just one of the best guitar riff writers going around. Ever since I first heard some of their tracks back in the very old GarageBand. I think I was playing Haikala songs back when I did the GarageBand Users Weekly show with Steve Mara back in the day. We'd talk about Haikala, but yeah, really cool, really nice, really smooth, and yeah, the precision, the chiming on that guitar. For anyone who's tried to record guitar like that, you might think, oh, it's just just a bit of a funky do 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 do, like the groove. And sitting in the pocket like that for that amount of time and to record track after track and then to mix it down to that kind of quality, it takes some skill. And our man Haikala has it. Speaking of people that have skills, we haven't had enough Thomas. We only had one Thomas track so far. So I want to go another Thomas. We're going to take our Thomas to the next level here. And that is our friend Thomas Gillane, who has been hitting it out of the park with both his instrumental pieces that he's been creating as well as his lyric, what do you call it? Actual songs. So he does a lot of pieces, does a lot of instrumentals, but also does full songs as well. So this one is a short piece from Thomas and it is called Bagatelle. It was inspired by the family piano from Stephen Tallamy, found on Piano Book. The sound made me imagine a French farmstead that survived the years of war. Thomas always has a bit of a deep meaning going on with his tracks. They're always epic. This one is no exception. So more Thomas in our life is a good thing. This is Bagatelle de Ferme Française on Your Music Live. Mr. Thomas Gillane with an amazing little track. Yeah, how good. Anything in 3/4 or 6/8 already just does it for me. But beautifully played, beautiful tone on that, and the composition of that is just great. Like the movement of that, just transported to another time and place. Exactly, mesmerizing. That's a great word for Thomas's music, is mesmerizing, and piano skills second to none. Soundtrack for a Wes Anderson film, yeah, almost. I like it a lot. Pretty beautiful, or beautifully pretty. Yeah, both. All of the above. Very, very cool. I dig it. Mike and Dawn says, "Oops, played it on 1.25. Sounds good faster too." Yeah, be careful. Don't change the speed. Don't speed me up. I speak too quickly already, I'm told. So speeding me up is probably not a great idea. We're going to just play a little bit of catch up here because we do have some songs from the past that we're trying to slowly make our way through and actually catch up on. Because, like I say, we do try to do the best that we can, but we've got songs here that are like 4 weeks ago that we haven't actually played yet. And because I mix it up and I've got different songs coming in and out, and there's some that I feature in different times, we don't always get to everything every week. But we're here every week anyway, so you're going to be good. You're going to be good. We'll get to you originally if you've submitted something. And if it, like I say, the only real rules are just don't have anything that's super offensive or that has a lot of swearing or a lot of rude words or about drugs and violence and guns and things. That's really all I want. Just be cool, people. Be cool, which most of you are. 90% of the songs I get are great, and I just play them, including this one. So this is from Lupus Nocte, who says, very relaxing, calming, and what other feelings other people have for it. I don't know. but it's calming and non-violent. There you go. So someone putting in their description that it's non-violent, that helps me out because then we can actually play it. And we've got a cool looking video here too. So let's jump over here and give this one a bit of a spin. This is Lupus Nocte with a tune called Howling here on Your Music Live. Love those toms, right? Roll up your sleeves and get your skates on. That's some really nice synth action, isn't it? Yeah, digging it. See, you never know. This is why we go back and I try and make sure that we catch these songs that we didn't play at the time for whatever reason, and try and get caught up on these as we go here on Your Music Live. So very cool tune there, Howling from Lupus Nocte. Very good stuff indeed. Whoop! I keep clicking the wrong buttons there. Let's move on here to our friend Emilio GL. Now we have played. Here we go. We're back onto SoundCloud. Can we please come on, Lotto Cat? Lotto Cat. We're going to refresh it so we go back to the start. We're going to get an ad. I don't know why. People are like, why are you hoping for ads? I don't know. I just like it. So Emilio says, this is a cover track. I recorded the drums in GarageBand iOS, exported each drum piece to Auria Pro, and then recorded the bass and guitar with the Audio Technica AT 2020, then mixed and mastered in Auria Pro. So a bit of Auria Pro action. We don't have too many folks using Auria Pro. So this is Emilio GL, and this is a cover of Wake Me Up When September Ends. Classic Green Day tune here on Your Music Live. Very nicely done. Very good reproduction of that the guitar tone there, just with the acoustic. captured well, mixed well, recorded well, and there you go. There is Emilio on SoundCloud. I know. How much do you want to say? Summer has gone again. Yeah, I don't know the lyrics. I'm really bad at lyrics, as my wife and my children will attest to. I was walking around yesterday singing a song, and because I get lyrics wrong so often, I started singing. I started just ning nang nong nong ning nanging it like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and my wife's like, "What are you singing? And why are you not singing the words?" I'm like, "Because I get it wrong so often. I just start singing sounds now." But yeah, I'm bad with lyrics. But that was cool. Well done, Emilio. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring, and Sharon is Karen. You know it. You know it as well as I know it. Right, let's grab this one here. The story. Sorry, true story. I woke up in the middle of the night with this tune. Keith and I worked on it with him singing and playing bass and me doing all the guitars. It's about a flirty girl. It was recorded with GarageBand. Is that not one of the best intro texts that anyone's ever sent me? True story. I woke up in the middle of the night with this tune. Keith and I worked on it with him singing and me. Yeah. And it's about a flirty girl. And it's called Sideways. And we're going to play it here now. This is Keith DiBudio. Probably said that wrong. Almost definitely did. And it is Sideways. Let's take a listen to it, shall we? Here on Your Music Live.
You got me going sideways. It's like obsession filled with tension, and it's really not how it should be. Is it lies, or are you playing your games with me? You give me tension, not to mention that it's really nothing that I need. Why are you pushing me? Like a tease. Just decide, is it love or a foolish game? You take advantage, take for granted that I'll be there anytime you need. No disguise, I've seen this act just time or two, but now I'm jaded, integrated. Now I'm closing up the book on you.
Yeah. Again, I was sitting here jamming to this going, who is this reminding me of? And you're right, Jenny and Michael, it is very Huey Lewis and or the News kind of vibe, isn't it? Hip to be a square hip. Yeah, 100%. Very cool. Very nicely done. And I like the album artwork there with the sideways and the glass and just very cool. Keith DiBudio, I'm probably pronouncing wrongly. Thank you for sharing. Very cool stuff. Very cool song. We've had I know every week I say the same thing. Every week I'm like, this week there were so many good songs. Every week there's so many good songs, so many that I just can't get to them all. And I apologize for that. I really don't mean to disrespect by not being able to play all the tunes that we get here. But we're gonna run long here, by the way. Please inform the affiliates that we're going to go long here, and we're still not going to get to all the songs that I want to get to here today. But we do have to get to this one, because it's our man Hubs. Is there a Hubs in the house? I haven't seen Hubs around here. He's probably over on the Metalhead Hippie Show. I don't know why, but with all the time changes around the world, the Metalhead Hippie Show and my show used to be at different times, and now we clash. So I know some people are like there with two screens and two ears, and they're like, but we have to play some Hubs. This is Hubs with Hetriani, once again on lead guitar, and this is a brand new tune from Mr. Gary Hubs. It is called Road Pop, Syrup and Sand. It's, interesting title, right? But it is, of course, the one and only Gary Hubs who is going to bring it for us here. What does Gary have to say? Hey, Pete, since February, I've been releasing one new song per month, but this last one made slightly more difficult by a 2-week vacation with the family, so I picked up a beta guitar and my old iRig 2 and we hit the road. The riffs were written at a cabin in Revelstoke. Sure, recorded in the motel in Pension, while the vocals were written under an hour and recorded in under an hour at home in Burnaby. Once again, Hetriana added his scorching lead playing Don't Tell Anyone, but the bass guitar is actually electric guitar played fingerstyle and transposed down an octave in GarageBand. I'd hate to lose my bass player cred. Oh no, he said Don't Tell Anyone. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Hubs. But let's take a listen to this one, shall we? Road Pop, Gary Hubs with Hetriani on Your Music Live.
Let's go! Bro, you know your music rocks. Spits quick, legit, and now he's making clocks. Hell's bells to tell me is it chicken pox? Dot, forgot, I'm on an empty box. You want and you need me. You try to deceive me. You lie completely. You ain't gonna break me. Loose lips and shift your secrets in the foam. Beast knees, disease, and victims of assault. Dig deep beneath you is a sight to fall. It isn't you, it's me, not good your pass assault. You want and you need me. You try to deceive me. You lie completely. You ain't gonna break me. You spread your hate and suffering, go for the poison lies, manipulating with your selfish lies, feeding us contradictions until we're hypnotized.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Did you get chucked out of the motel? I guess when you're recording through an iRig, the benefit is that only you are hearing the deafening metal tones. Everyone else is just hearing that twang, 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 to twang, twang sound. Very cool, as always. Go check out Mr. Gary Hubs on his channel because he's got that and he's got cool I thought I was wearing the Hubs t-shirt. I was yesterday. But yes, I own a Hubs t-shirt, and now I own a Delicate Giants t-shirt. If anyone wants to send me their t-shirt, I will wear it here on the show. That's my guarantee, including Wolfstone Studio, who we're about to play. Right? That's fitting, isn't it? Wolfstone Studio, Ron and Jenny, who are amazing people and have been supporting this channel for a very long time. And they've got a new tune here that they've got the following to say about. Hi, Pete. I've always wanted to... sorry, this is a note to Pete. Is this just for me? We're low on time, so I'm just going to play the song, okay? I'm just going to play the song and go with it. So because otherwise we're going to miss a couple of tunes that I wanted to play here today. So I'll read the note to me in case it was just private later. But for now, let's jump in here. And this has got Andy Dion on guitar, so I do know that much because look, it says it right there. So this is Wolfstone Studio. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm coming in. And we're going to play it live on Your Music Live. Let's rock.
Up is down, everywhere I look around, I'm headed nowhere, with no one to keep me from there now.
that is definitely some George Harrison style guitar there. And yeah, I agree. Excellent video work going on there as well. I dig it in a big bad way. Man, we are going to go long here. I'm going to try and get through a few more tracks just because otherwise we'll just never catch up here. So to Thomas Christ, who's on live straight after this one. Yeah, how good was the solo? Thomas Christ, who's live straight after this one, please do note that we'll probably be a bit late there. You might want to push your start time out by 10 minutes, Tom, because we're probably going to go 10 or 15 over here because I want to play a few more tunes. Now, we tried to play this one last week from our friend Orchestra Eclipse, but it didn't work because the link wasn't there. He says, you may remember the first ever YML song I submitted was a cover of The Ecstasy of Gold from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I reimagined the song as a cinematic trailer, and this is my first YML song recorded in Logic Pro X, which is something that I'm going to be checking out in the coming months. I'm about to move over and re-examine GarageBand on Mac. Don't worry if you're an iOS user. I'm not abandoning iOS in any way. In fact, I'm going to be using them together to see how we can go with things like Logic Remote. But then I will be jumping over to Logic at some stage to actually check it out. So for now, let's come and check this one out from Orchestra Eclipse, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on Your Music Live.
$1,000. Some in gold. A tiny sum. $1,000 is a lot of money. We're gonna have to earn it.
Nice one. I like some of those instruments in there. I'm intrigued to explore the goodness that is the Logic instruments because I've never played around with them, and I'm looking forward to when I can. Not that I don't like the limitations. That's the thing. Again, GarageBand is amazing, and people underestimate the instrument selection in GarageBand. Plus, don't forget, you can check out shows like Jade Star and Doug over on the Sound Test Room because there's a whole bunch of other cool instruments you can use using external AUV3 instruments and plugins and all sorts of things. So do get onto that. Let's move on here. Joe and Barry Glenn, we're going to sneak you in here. Joe says this was created last October while on holiday in Georgian Bay, just using the iPad. The tune at the end is a Scottish Strathspey. It's about Benbecula in the Outer Hebrides. Oh man, my reading at the 2-hour mark goes away. Using the tenor recorder and high D whistle, the video was with iMovie, but decided to use Slaps. Please run from 3 minutes 21 so you get to hear Dark Island. Well, we are over here on slaps.com. Slaps brought to you by our friends at DistroKid. Here is slaps.com, Joe and Barry Glenn. If you're not already following, hit the follow button and follow them. Where do I have to play it from here? From 3 minutes 21. We're going to cue it up to 3:21 by just clicking to there. That looks about right. Let's take a listen to this one, shall we? Joe and Barry Glenn with Do You Love an Apple / Dark Island here on Your Music Live.
Do you love an apple? Do you like a pen? Do you love the laddie with the bonny brown hair? Still I love him, I can't seem to hide him. I'll be with him wherever you go.
very good stuff. Yeah, glorious as usual. Can't imagine an Apple would work on a dark island. Where would you plug it in? Oh, Mark. Hang on, we'll give you a... There you go. Well done. Well, very, very cool stuff. Yeah, the harmonies in that are really beautiful. And I think a lot of people are digging that over there on Slaps, probably because it's very different. Lots of fire beats on Slaps, not too much folk. So I think you're probably cornering the market on folk music over on slaps.com. Beautiful stuff there. Pretty tuned. Well played. Thank you for that, Joe and Barry. And good stuff indeed. Ding indeed. We're going to sneak... I'm going to go 3 more tunes, which makes me sad because there's too many here that I'm not going to get to. But we will be back next week to play more songs here on Your Music Live. But I wanted to play a tune from our man Michael, aka Zealand Band. Michael's been a subscriber of mine. He's been a Patreon of mine for a very long time. He's here every week. He supports the channel in a big bad way, and he's just an all-round awesome dude. So Michael, aka Zealand Band, you're going to get to put some Zs in the chat here. If you're new to the show, that's the official emoji of Michael. And speaking of emojis, we got a track from someone else who has an official emoji in just a moment. But we can get some Zs going on here in the chat here for Michael, aka Zealand Band, Under a Silver Moon, here on Your Music Live. Let's do it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'll continue saying it because every single time we play a Michael Zealand Band tune, you just never know what you're going to get. A bit of major pentatonic scale going on there, and it does. It makes you smile. You're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. All right, we got 2 songs to go here. If you are new to the show here and you dug it here today, hit the like button. There's a link down below where you can submit a tune for a future show. I know many of you did that last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and we still haven't heard your song. I will get there, I promise. It's a lovely problem to have, having too much music to play. And I went out this week and was talking to people about YML, and then I got a bunch of other folks who are now part of the Your Music Live community. So it does mean that if you submit a song every week, you won't always get it played that week or every week. You may need to be patient and wait a few weeks. So I thank you for all your support. And if you do think this is cool, share it, because not only will it mean that if you've got a song on here, you're sharing it with other people, but then they discover that we have an awesome community here. They join us, and then they might share their music, and we'll get some amazing first timers like we've had here today. So thank you, everybody. We're going to go out with a couple of very cool tunes here. Now, I did say there's another emoji that you're going to have to put out here. Can you guess what the emoji is? We haven't heard from this particular artist for a few weeks, but they're back. And they've said, I'm experimenting with a hack to put multiple tempos in one song, which sounds interesting. And this particular artist uses GarageBand pretty much exclusively. So we'll see. We have a GarageBand track here. Has anyone guessed who I'm about to play here? Yeah, Russ is on the ball. It is indeed our friend QB the Penguin. Get those penguin and ice emojis going on, and we'll see what QB's done here in GarageBand here. It is a tune called Transitions Are Hard. because they are. Let's jump in and take a listen to this one. QB the Penguin on Your Music Live. What a talented little bird, hey? Penguins are a bird, yeah? The old bait and switch. Very, very cool indeed. And if you are wondering how that was done, you probably noticed there they gave away the secret. I like it when folks go behind the curtain and show us what they're doing here in their DAW. But you would have noticed that the start of that track was actually a audio file. So it looks like QB's done the old use an audio file by creating a track at a different BPM, exporting that, inputting it in, because you'll notice that there, when they're doing the slower section. Oh, look, we're back to an outro. Let's have a listen to it, shall we? Let's hear that transition, because this will show what's actually happening. Yeah. Great work, QB. One penguin I can cheer for all year round. Exactly. Even in summertime, the Penguins can rock it and rock it hard. That is going to finish us up here. We're going to go out with one final tune here, and this is a first-timer. This was something special. This came in, I was getting set up last night, and this sideswiped me in a big bad way. So I'm going to read the description of this one, and then I'm going to play it. And get ready for this one, folks, because this is something super duper special. This is production at the next level that I wanted to play for you here today. So this is from Sammy Choffrey, and Sammy says that this video was filmed by myself and my drone operator. There you go. Over the course of 2 years while traveling and touring abroad. The song itself was inspired by a man I met in Cambodia, born without arms, who was told his entire life that he would not be able to amount to anything. He learned how to make jewelry with his feet and used part of that money to help his local community buy food. My only regret is that I was not around. He was not around when I came back to Cambodia to film the scenes of this video. The song is about how we are never good enough for others, but more importantly ourselves, which I know to be false. It is a wonderful song with a wonderful message, and I wanted to finish to give you some good feelings at the end of today's Your Music Live, because you are all awesome people, and anytime you're underestimating yourself and you think you can't do something, you're probably wrong. Give it a crack, because you never know what you can do. And sometimes we hit obstacles and we hit challenges in our lives. It's just another opportunity to find a way to improve and to do things better. So let's take a listen to this one. Sammy Choffrey with Extraordinary World here on Your Music Live.
If you feel you're all alone, then you're not at all alone. It's really only ordinary, extraordinary extraordinary world. You'd like to be someone before you disappear. It's really only ordinary, extraordinary world. What's the price we have to pay to live another day? It's all become so complicated. We lost and lonely souls. And all that I am, and all that I ever was never good enough, good enough for you. Can you feel the emptiness and the silence all around? It's all become so ordinary, extraordinary world. If you don't give it a name, then it dies all the same. It's only ever complicated. The mind has lost control. And all that I am, and all that I ever was never good enough, good enough for you. And all that I am, and all that I ever was, I finally faced the truth. Not good enough for you. Was never good enough for you. Was never good enough for you. Was never good enough for you. If you feel you're all alone.
The wonderful Sammy Choffrey bringing us home there. Whew, that does. It hits you well and truly in the cockles and in the feels with that one there. So do go and check out all of the music that we've featured here today. It's been another amazing show, and I'd thank you all for being here. Do hit the like button if you did enjoy this, if you thought that there was some great and amazing talent here today, because there was. And don't forget that we have Thomas Christ up next here on the live show. And I'll join you tomorrow because I've got a happy hour. I'll be singing some songs in the happy hour. We've then got GarageBand Weekly, a whole bunch more going on here on the channel. Everything you need to know is down in the description. Huge thank you to our sponsors, DistroKid, for bringing the goodness here and helping keep the lights on here at Studio Live Today Studios. Until next time, I've been Pete Johns. This has been Your Music Live. I'll see you real soon, folks. Bye for now.
Was never good.